Good morning, beloveds. Um, it's 30 degrees, and the feels like have not gotten out of the 20s since Monday. So I do ask y'all to continue treatment for the people who don't have power or are in the rolling blackouts, or more specifically for the people who are dealing with the low water or the busted pipes. The reports are coming in. So please continue your prayers, continue your treatments. We will get through this. We will. But yeah. So I went out and started my car because I haven't started it since Sunday, and it started right up. And I turned on the defrost, and then I pulled an literally an inch chunk of ice off my windshield. So wow. So I know that resources are on the move, and they will get where they need to get. So that is what I'm going to continue to treat for. And we saw the sun one day. It would help if the sun would come out. I don't know. The cloud bank is pretty heavy today. So that is our state here in South Texas. But it is also February 18th, so we are going to get on with what I get on to do this for. It is February 18th. Our title is Each New Day is a Fresh Beginning. Now are we the sons of God, and it doth not yet appear that we shall be. No, it doth not yet appear what we shall be. And that is from 1 John 3:2. While there is a place that dwells in eternal stillness and inaction in the innermost recesses of our soul, there is also a place at the circumference of our being that animated by the inner spirit, goes forth to accomplish. If we will take time daily to sense this presence, believe in it, and accept it, before long, the life we have known until now will gradually disappear. Something new and wonderful will be born. A bigger, better, and more perfect life. We will pass from sadness into happiness, from lack and want into greater freedom, and from fear into assurance. Through the continual emergence of the creative principle, any last finality proves to be but the beginning of a new creative series. This eternal spiral, finding its base in the everlasting reality, will never cease to emerge. Our increased awareness of spiritual truths will make each day a fresh beginning, a new approach to reality, a spiritual adventure arising fresh and new from the original creative principle active within us. I enjoy my present experience and joyously anticipate each day's increasing good. Opening my heart and mind, I allow the creative action of God to express through me, aware that my capacity to accept good expands. I become a blessing both to myself and to the world in which I live. I rejoice at the greater possibilities of my future unfoldment. Okay. This is one of the reasons why I tell you that what is currently going on in our lives will affect how we read sacred readings. Good morning, Kathy. So, because there were a couple of points in here where I was like, I don't know if I've got that in me today. And if I don't have that in me today, that is okay. That is absolutely okay. Because other people have it in them today, and I will have it in me tomorrow. So, and really honestly, each new day is a fresh beginning. When we open our eyes, we have the chance to set our intention for the day, to have whatever kind of day we want to have. I admit this morning my bed was really warm. I didn't really want to get out of it, but I have things to do. So each new day is a fresh beginning. Now, the Bible quote, when I read the Bible quote, one of the things that I am a voting delegate for my center, and the vote was yesterday. And one of the things, a number of the resolutions that we were voting on was gender inclusive language. All of them passed because we are a very inclusive movement, a very inclusive philosophy. And that's one of the reasons why, yes, the first time I read it, I will always read it exactly as it's written. But the second time when I talk about it, I will change the language. Now that we are the children of God, and it doth not yet appear what we shall be. From John. So, because it's hard for me as a woman to read, now are we the sons of God, because it leaves me out. That is one of the reasons why I do make an effort to, the second time I go through this, to use gender inclusive language. Now are we the children of God, and it doth not yet appear what we shall be. It means that every day we have a new choice. We can choose anew. If yesterday wasn't the greatest day, we can choose anew today. And it also means that we are ever growing, ever changing, ever evolving. We're going where we're going. We'll get there. While there is a place that dwells in eternal stillness and in action in the innermost recesses of our soul, that perfect place where nothing has ever been wrong. That's what Reverend Jesse likes to talk about. There is also a place at the circumference of our being that, animated by the innermost spirit, goes forth to accomplish. I just got a text notification from my mom in San Antonio that it's snowing. Woo. I don't want to see any more snow. Not for a couple more years. Here. Maybe if I travel. Y'all are welcome to all the snow in Colorado, Kathy. Okay, so at the center of our being is an unchanging place. The place where we meet spirit, the place where we meet God unfiltered. That is unchanging. That is the very nature of God, and that is not changing. But we are, so the circumference of our being, the outermost part of us, we got stuff to do. We've got things to do. And that unchanging spirit is what is animating that change. So we're holding two things in our mind at the same time. An unchanging spirit and a spirit driving change. That's the point of coming into form. The point of coming into form is to evolve, to grow, to change, to learn. But there's a place that doesn't. And at that place is love. That doesn't change. If we will take time daily to sense this presence and think about all of the qualities of God, think of warm, creative, harmonious, peaceful, all of that. Sense that presence. Believe in it, he uses the capital I there, and accept it, again, capital I. Before long, the life we have known until now will gradually disappear. Practice makes permanent. The more we practice the presence, the easier it is for us to sense, the easier it is for us to default to it in situations that we find ourselves in that are not preferred. Something new and wonderful will be born, a bigger and better and more perfect life. We will pass from sadness into happiness, from lack into want, into greater freedom, and from fear into assurance. And that's been one of the things with the situation that we've been in here in Texas is it's been fear. It's been fear. Every time my heat turned off, I'm like, is it going to come back on? Every time the power blinked, is it going to come back on? And I had to remind myself to have faith that it will. And as you know, the roads aren't icy anymore. We are now moving out into our community to provide the assistance that we can. So we are taking our assurance out into the world. Taking our assurance out into our community. Through the continual emergence of the creative principle, any last finality proves to be but the beginning of a new creative series. So when it looks like the end, it's not. When it looks like the end, it's not. Something new will be born. And that's the way of it. Something new is always going to be born. That's one of the things that I've seen is like a whole lot of us had plants that we couldn't protect, but they told us not to dig them out. There's a possibility that the roots may still be alive and they may spring back up. It'll take a few months. It's called patience. Patience is a virtue. I get to practice it a lot. This eternal spiral, finding its base in the everlasting reality, will never cease to emerge. The unchanging nature of God. It will never cease. Our increased awareness of spiritual truths will make each day a fresh beginning, a new approach to reality, capital R, a spiritual adventure arising fresh and new from the original creative principle active within us. That's one of the sentences where I was kind of like, you don't know what I've been going through. And to a degree, Spirit doesn't care what I have been going through. Spirit loves me just as I am, meets me just as I am, and will continue to support me in moving forward. That's what I mean by Spirit doesn't care what I've been going through. Of course, Spirit cares, but Spirit isn't going to judge me for any of the responses and reactions that I have had to what I have just been through. Spirit won't judge anybody else. Spirit will just continue to provide that energy for us to move forward into this. And here's the other line that I had trouble with. I enjoy my present experiences and joyfully anticipate each day's increasing good. Okay. No. No, I'm not sure. I actually enjoyed a lot of but that's one of the things. It is a challenge for me to find things about this experience that were good. And I do joyously anticipate each day's increasing good, the increasing temperature. So, what you are going through will inform how you read the sacred readings, or not even the sacred readings, just the readings. Be gentle with yourself. Allow yourself that moment, because tomorrow when you read it, if you read the same thing, you'll feel differently about it. Just be aware of that. And that's one of the reasons why I'm upfront about what I'm going through sometimes, so that you guys will understand when I struggle with a line or two. Opening my heart and mind I allow the creative action of God to express through me, aware that as my capacity to accept good expands, I become a blessing both to myself and to the world in which I live. And that's the truth. The more good I'm willing to accept, the more good I let flow through me out into the world. The more good you accept, the more good you let flow out into the world. The way we change the world is by accepting ourselves and accepting our good and letting that good flow through us. We don't have to make major world-changing changes. We just have to be. We have to be the children of God, the children of spirit, the children of love, the children of peace, the children of harmony, that we are at the center of our being, and let that permeate out into the circumference where spirit goes forth to accomplish. I become a blessing both to myself and to the world in which I live. You become a blessing both to yourself and the world in which you live. I heard last night all it takes is 10%. 10%. What's 10% to you? I rejoice at the greater possibilities of my future unfoldment. So our mission today, should we choose to accept it? I'm going to go back to that line I didn't like. Our mission today, should we choose to accept it, is to enjoy our present experiences, to look for the good and praise it, as Emma would say, and to joyously anticipate each day's increasing good. That's our mission. I'm going to take it to heart. All right, beloveds. As always, I encourage you to do something loving for yourself, do something kind for yourself, do something compassionate for yourself today and every day, because you are worthy. You are absolutely worthy. And the more kindness, compassion, and love that you practice on yourself, the more you will have to share with everyone around you. All right? So, I know that there are other things that I normally say, engage your mind and body, open your windows. Yeah, not any of that. I am going to encourage you to stay warm, to stay safe, to drink plenty of water. Hydrating in the winter is actually more important than in the summer, because when we're cold, we don't think about it. So those headaches that we've been running around with for a week because it's cold, that could be dehydration. So drink water. And if you want to warm it up and make it tea, I'm down with that. All right, beloveds? Remember that you are a beloved child of spirit in whom spirit is well pleased, always and forever. This is the state of grace that we live at. So, while I'm not encouraging you to open your windows, I am encouraging you to open the windows of your soul. Allow the breath of heaven to remind you that you do live in heaven now. It is our responsibility to open our eyes and see it around us, and to let the good flow through us to make it even better. Each day is a new beginning. All right, beloveds? Have a wonderful day in whatever it is that you're going to do. Stay safe, stay warm. Reverend David will be on with you around 5 p.m. I'll be back with you at 9 a.m. tomorrow. Just know that you're loved.